Hey everyone, I hope everyone having a good day, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. So today's subject is how I find my community. So everyone you may have known by now that I am a disability justice advocate for 5 years and I'll be doing this since 2018. So when I the journey where I find my community, especially with the autistic community, then later on black and brown autistic people. So at the beginning, just me, in the world by myself, growing up, with your family members and stuff, and no one could relate to you. Would like to be autistic, because they have like little to no understanding about autism, even though they do the best of their ability to understand me. But of course, they try their best. But I know sometimes, majority of the time, they kind of put me in the box due to the stereotype about autism. Do you go with math or whatever the case may be? Even though they're not tend to, but yeah, and especially being like growing up, like you had no one you could relate to, even though like some part of your identity that you could relate to, whether you're black, autistic, LGBTQ plus, etc. Growing up, I've been surrounded by black folk for a majority of my life, and of course some, my white peers as well, you know, could relate some things, but not all things. Especially me being a black girl, now a black woman who is autistic, it's lonely. Like, you know, maybe if I was younger though. Cause I remember like best when I was younger, and I probably had to talk about it from one of my videos that I remember like when I was little, that especially in the special education class. And I was the only girl in the whole class full of boys who were autistic. I was the only girl and the second black person in the whole class. I didn't realize that at first, but you know, because with boys they not understand what it might be the girl thing. They're not gonna stand that part, and like you know, it's hard to relate to guys, especially they don't know what women have, what girls and women have to go for every day. You know, they're not gonna get that part of it. And of course, being black in America, you know, you had to do X, Y, Z, and plus being a black girl, now into a black woman, what they expect you to be, whatever. A lot of expectations of me to do growing up, and like, yeah, and of course, you went to middle school and high school, as y'all know, having internalized ableism and not liking myself at the time and all that stuff going on. So especially when I find the community, majority of the time mostly on social media, especially Twitter. This when I find the disability community and the autistic community. And that when I find my community who could relate to me, would like to be disabled or have a disability or would like to be autistic, and now I found like community of people that I could relate to, would like to be me. Cause basically people in my own personal life, my family member, friend, acquaintances, well, except some of my friends who are also autistic, and my BFF who are also autistic. Well, I I'm good at that, but all my family members and classmates who are neurotypical or autistic, who not autistic, they're not gonna get it, except my peers who are autistic who will understand what like to be autistic. But most of my acquaintances, even my BFF, very two very different people. When how we autistic people operate. So definitely, I just find my autistic community and this community Twitter, especially that when I found a community ad, and oh my gosh, I learned a lot, especially with disability rights. Learn about the people in the community who fight for our rights as disabled people, and I learned a lot. And I remember especially learning for Alice Wong, who, she have a disability, but she not autistic. I forgot what type of disability that she got. I can't remember what it's called. But I remember she do have a podcast called Disability Visibility. I think that's how you call her name. And I remember she was my first she was my first podcast that I listened to, learned about disability rights and all that stuff. And also learn about disability community, like disability sex and all that stuff. Learn about ADA, American with Disability Act. Talk about what like experience it, what like be disabled and all that stuff. And I really learned a lot. And this is where like I started creating, club well actually not clubs. I would plan to, but I never got a chance to. Oh, I could do it now, but yeah. And I'm in the student club on campus at my current school, what's it called, DAPI, or Delta Alpha Pi, which is like an honor site for a disabled student or student with disability. So I'm in that club. Always happen now. You know me, I love disability advocacy, baby. Pew 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 pew. And yeah, thought about like creating me a club. If I did create me a club, something to do with intersectionality, because I keep talking about intersectionality a lot. If I find people on campus that talk about intersectionality, we gonna create a club, talk about intersection, about disability, ways, immigration. I don't give a damn what it is. She, I would like to learn. Okay. But for me, I just fuck on disability and race. That my expertise, especially with autism and race, because I'm black and autistic. So that my jam. Okay. So other than that, I will talk about that later. But at the beginning of before I came an activist, I learned about disability community, and I started to create event at my community college. I went to community college first, did two events. You probably heard it already. So I did two events about autism in April of 2016, 2017, and talk about autism and also use myself as a speaker. Because what I learned from disability advocacy that they don't include disabled people in, speaking event. So I decided to include myself in it to make sure people like me are heard. So I would advocate like, yeah, getting excited, learn about this community, and also decolonize my mind as an autistic person or slash disabled person. And I learned a lot about myself. And I found my community. As along the way, I learned about this big community and also learned about intersectionality and what that about. And I completely learned a lot from there. And also learn about, best with my disability, particular autism. Learn about a lot of things about my disability, which is so ridiculous. And finding the group of autistic people that I could relate to and all that good stuff. And I follow people who, black and brown and who are autistic, like Aaliyah X Brown, XY Brown, Camilla, Tim, everybody that I follow who also black and brown, autistic. and they have a Facebook for Black and Brown autistic people about experiences. I was in that group. What else? So I think it's just that group. And, oh yeah, I was the other group for Black and Brown autistic people, Black and Brown autistic women group thing on Facebook as well, and also being a part of Autism Self Advocacy Network program, which is called Autism Camp Inclusion Program, which I'm the alumni of the program of 2020, and learn about creating disability awareness on your campus and spreading awareness and all that good stuff. So yeah, and I do that. Um, and all that good stuff. And along the way, learn about my, learn about my disability and learn about disparity within the autism community, especially with autism, particularly about disparity. Like I do know about there's some disparity between boys and girls who trying to, or slap men and women trying to get diagnosis and find that there's a disparity within the gender line because how autism been be showing on the media and pop culture. This always super demographic of what mostly men and boys who more likely be autistic than girls and all that statistic and how autism persuaded in the media. So it's so that particular what autism is, and also I learned about the race disparity within autism, and I'm like, what in the world? And I start questioning, like, what if I had not get it? Will I be screwed too? Will be a late diagnosed autistic person? Like, I wonder. But even though I might consider myself the lucky one, but I know Mariah Carey and other black women who found that they're autistic later in their 30s, 20s, maybe in their 40s, 50s. Found they autistic later. I'm like, damn, what? I was shocked though. And then everything from there, I created a hashtag autistic black pride to celebrate being black and autistic and put the emphasis on intersectionality. Like the guy I met one day back in 2028 is autism awareness month or acceptance month. And I was trying to figure ways to term and also learn about the disparity, in the autism diagnosis. And I remember saying like, oh, autistic black pride, celebrating being autistic and celebrating being black. Of course, I'm gonna celebrate being black because I'm black and I'm proud for who I am. And core being comfortable being autistic, being proud for who I am as well. So I decided like, let's celebrate both, bitch. I'm black and I'm proud. Oh, and I'm autistic and I'm proud. I'm black autistic and I'm proud, baby. And of course, there's some people like, why they bringing up race and bullshit? And I'm looking like, bitch, hey, you forgot, like, not people not look white. Bullshit. People on that bullshit. But other than that, um, I learned about, the best way everything I create, the hashtag, and also I thought to notice a little bit at my advocacy, just shifting my autism advocacy work, focusing on bringing representation of autistic people of color or black or brown autistic people, to find out how autism being displayed and what they always show I told mostly white autistic men with other privileges, which is ridiculous. And sadly that no one, focuses on the black and brown autistic experiences and what, how, and especially, with the conversation, us being autistic about unmasking and stuff like that, and not realizing not everybody within the community had the privilege of doing that. So there's a lot of conversation around intersectionality, a part of it, that no one feel heard, especially those who marginalized, like me, for example. Because like every community got their own issue, they got to deal with racism, sexism, lack of ableism, homophobia, transphobia, and all that shit, which is suck. Like, ugh, why I gotta be a lot to do? Like, especially so I talk about race particular, and they be on their BS. But yeah, just finding the community who talk about intersectionality or autism ways. It's very hard to find. Like, especially though talk about intersectionality or autism ways, especially among black and brown autistic people. And I remember after I shipping my exit was just focus on intersectionality or autism ways and make sure that black and brown people feel heard and seen, and that way. And also talk about my experience, what like to me, like the autistic person, also acknowledging on the side like you better represent black and brown autistic people, okay? Represent us, or we gonna go get your booty. Represent us, bitch. I also felt I'd be screaming through the Twitter feed, and now they call it X. I don't fucking understand what the fuck they call it X. They trip. I rather leave the little bird alone. They tripping. Damn, Mark, what the fuck? Was it that name Mark? Oh shit, I don't remember now. No, not Mark. I can't remember his damn name. He said he autistic, but yeah, he tripping fucking lit. I don't know why the hell you think about X. That's a fucking conversation. But anyway, that's bullshit. But they still kept the damn bird alone. And anyway, other damn subject. But yeah. So I just I focusing on my advocacy work and you know intersectionality and autism, or just give off disability justice, which is focused on, of course, talk about disability, you know, but also talk about the intersectionality within it as well. So that basically my advocacy work focuses on for basically around disability justice. Of course, I'm gonna talk about disability or like be autistic, but I'm gonna talk about intersectionality. So that what disability justice is. So I I follow more black and brown autistic people, especially black autistic people, share our experience with like be us, having conversation, and like, basically what I mentioned, like there's a black and brown autistic Facebook group, especially for black and brown autistic people, talk about experiences, which I found very helpful and for my experiences, and also listen to each other on social media and sharing our stories and stuff like that. And of course, 2 years ago, I left the general autism community because I don't feel heard and seen in the general autism community because they don't want to work on their racism, sexism, mostly racism because there's a lot of blunt racism in the autism community, which is freaking ridiculous. Even though they claim to have a sense of justice, nah. So I decided to say deuces. I'm gonna focus on black and brown autistic people, especially black autistic people. So that's what I did, and I started since I kind of like took a break from the autistic community a little bit. But even though I do talk about, well, I did took a year off. Yeah, almost a year. Well, after I did took a year off from advocacy work, about a year, and plus I was going to college, you know, try to get my first degree, even though it took me a freaking long time to get me my degree. And baby, I tell y'all, this is my last year. get my degree. I'm so glad the day come. May of 2024. Get my first bachelor's degree. I'm happy for that day come, okay, y'all? Long time come, okay? But yeah. So I decided, beginning to write decided in somewhere almost the end of 2024. No, damn. I mean to begin middle of 2022. I had decided like I do want to get back on my advocacy work and of course, create my YouTube channel, which I've been using since August or September, maybe October. I don't remember, y'all. Forgive me. So, I try to get back on, doing my advocacy work, talk about my experience, what I like to be me as a black autistic person, which I'm doing this YouTube channel, talk about what I like to be me and talk about my life. You know, I do not, yes, I might have that experience at my peer who has be autistic, but we don't have the same experience. Like, I don't speak for all autistic people, and I don't speak for black autistic people. I speak for me. I'll talk about my experience, hope my experience could help you or anybody to learn about autism, especially with autism. They always see that the white people stuff. So hopefully my page and other like me who are the black and brown autistic people share their stories so y'all could relate, especially if you're the same demographic as me, trying to understand autism, what it like to be a black girl or black queer who autistic, you want to learn that perspective. So, I can't speak for everybody, I speak for me. Hope I my insight help y'all. So that I be doing, and also I just create me a Patreon, try to build my community, sell my payment, whether or not you want PayPal me, Venmo me, Cash App me for the service that I'm doing, and also sometimes I'm getting back, speaking a little bit. People invite me to speak at their event about autism, disability, whatever maybe the case may be. I will do it. Me, right? So, I have created a community on Patreon to try to, get people aware that I have a Patreon that I'm gonna have the discussion, and I launched it in the beginning of this year. You know, I'm making a change around it because I trying to get people to go to my clubhouse, which that did not work out, but I learned that not many people aware about Clubhouse. So I'm like, dang it, that is sucks. But now I am creating a community on Geneva app, which is a social app, and also it is for free. So so I'm basically So I'm trying to do something different to get people engaged with me about, what I believe in. So basically, the community I created on Geneva is neurodiversity and black. The reason for that, why I make that the name of it, because so you learn about neurodiversity from the black perspective. Because a lot of times with neurodiversity, you always hear from the white neurodivergent perspective, not someone who black neurodivergent. So, and of course, I'm gonna talk about intersectionality in that space. Talk about will I be black and autistic or neurodivergent. Talk about issue within the in the community would like to be black, and also put emphasis on intersectionality because in that page I'll talk about intersectionality, talk about everything. So with that, in that community I'm doing live discussion every Wednesday and doing group session based on intersectionality and also get to know me. If you had question about me, why I came an activist, it don't matter. So yeah, basically I am doing on Geneva. I don't know if people are aware about Geneva, so I had add a link to the community. I had created the link. I share a link to my Geneva community on my LinkedIn, so you could go through it. I also provide in the description so y'all can go through it. So yeah, I'm happy and like along the way, like I created, at first, like I first, learned about this community, I just fall and just learn about this community, learn about the community, and join, Facebook group, based on intersectionality and stuff like that, and now I create my own community. And I never thought it would be me though. I thought it would be following other people's thing, but and also I felt a miss. It's something I do like go doing Instagram live with people. Something special with being black and autistic. And I did like how many? Four. I think it's four. Well, like to be black, being black autistic. So I not thinking about like if I decide to do a thing, do the Izzy talk, and I remember like based on TikTok, like it is black autistic person had used a hashtag called Izzy to talk about the black autistic experiences. So I love that hashtag, and I'll be using a lot back in my posts and stuff like that. I love the term. And I remember one night, I was doing live with, with few black autistic people. We should talk about if we decided to have this conversation about what like to be us and stuff. I remember saying, let's call it the easy talk. If I do it, I will do it. I will have a damn conversation when I like to be a black autistic person. I will definitely do it, okay? If I have the energy. But I know right now I can't do it because I'm in school. Because school is demanding as hell. And also in my last year. So, yuppie doo. So, I am happy. I'm going to get my degree and I'll be deuces. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that in my next video. You know, my education experience and why it took me so long. Like for real, man. Why it taking me so long, man? Like, yeah. So I had created a community on Javila. I supposed to do on Clubhouse, but that did not work out. But my community on Geneva called No Diversity in Black. And also, I failed to mention, like, if you decide to join that community, you had to, you know, decolonize your mind, learn about intersectionality, and willing to listen to the perspective of Black autistic people and neurodivergent people. And also working on our policy. Cause baby, better the past few years, better ever since the pandemic started. Now I'm like, hell no. Cause people showing their bigotry and being an asshole. And I was like, I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time for bigotry. We gonna work our damn bias, bitch. Okay. And also, it's about that it's also one of my grouping sessions, which is open for everybody who have like that have a certain privileges over other. We're gonna talk about what to do with racism, ableism. I don't give a fuck what it is. We're gonna talk about real shit. So we go work together. And I'm going to have a deep bad conversation. If you like have a deep conversation with me and want to learn intersectionality, I don't care if you are your parent of autistic children, autistic person, be an ally to an autistic person, research. I don't care who you is. So we're gonna have this conversation and have a conversation with me about intersectionality. We want to learn about, people perspective, better though who not white, white divergent, and listen to everybody experience, and also put y'all in group based on intersectionality. So we're gonna talk about our experience and learn how to decolonize our mind and how we could be a better ally to one another. So that's how we're gonna do it in my community. And I don't do bigotry in my community. If you do being an a-hole in my community, you have to leave, okay? You got to deuce, okay? I don't have time for that. So I hope everybody have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. And if you decide you want to join my community on Jariba, join now. I will provide the link. I will provide the link in the description. Bye, y'all.